What's up guys, this is Matt, and welcome back to another Dwarf Fortress video. I want to thank you guys for watching these videos, it really means a lot to me. In the last video, we set up some basic workshops, and we set up a zone for animals. Really, that's all that happened. It was about a 15-minute episode, but that's all we were able to get done. So today, I'm going to try to show you how to build some items, and how to set up some basic rooms. So I'm going to unpause the game right here, let the dwarves run around a little bit. And the first thing I want to do is, now that I have some stone, I want to build a couple beds, because dwarves need beds to sleep in. So what I'm going to do is, this part can be a little complicated until you understand it. I'm going to press the letter Q, which is going to set building, tasks, and preferences. So I'm going to press the letter Q. And I'm going to go over to whatever, you'll see they'll start flashing as I get near them. Okay, and then if I'm on a stockpile, it allows me. This is going to allow you to change settings of buildings as well. So I could change a stockpile setting just from hitting Q and then going over to the stockpile. But I'm going to go to a mason's workshop, it doesn't matter which one. And I'm going to press the letter A to add a task or add new task. I'm going to press A, and it's going to give me a list of things that I can build out of rock. Okay, and that gives you the idea of what you can do here. Well, in this case, I want to build some beds. So I'm going to press the letter Q, and I'm going to go up to the carpenter's workshop. I'm going to press the letter A to add a new task, and I'm going to come down to beds, or you can press the letter B without even looking at this menu. I'm going to press B, and it's going to add construct bed order to the tasks of that particular building. Now, you can press the letter R. I keep zooming that out. I got to watch that scroll wheel. Sorry, everybody. I can press the letter R to repeat this particular task, and you'll see a large R will appear over here on the side. Or I can just hit A, and I could hit B again to build another one. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I have, it looks like 4 rock. So I'll build 4 beds right now, and hopefully they'll all be built out of that same rock. I'm not sure what this is yet. And oh, why am I looking at rock? I'm building beds. I'm sorry. That probably made no sense to you guys. You get the idea. I'm going to build 4 beds, and it's going to use the wood. I'm very sorry. I don't know where my mind's at. I'm going to press escape to leave this building, and I'm actually going to press Q again. I didn't have to do it that way, but I'll show you the other way to do it. After I add a task, I could have just moved the cursor over. But I'm going to go over to a mason's workshop, and I'm going to build a table wherever the table may be. There it is. You can press the letter T for table. I'm also going to build a chair to go next to that table, because who doesn't like to sit down when they eat? So I'm going to add another task. And in rock, chairs are not called chairs, they're called thrones. That might sound like something for a king or a noble or something, but as far as rock goes, a throne is a chair. If you were to make a chair out of another material, it would be called a chair. But in this case, I'm going to press the letter C for throne, because C would designate chair. So I'll just build one of each for now, just to show you the basic idea. And that's going to take up 2 rock. And I'm going to move this cursor down to our Craftsdwarf workshop, because I want to build something else out of rock. I'm going to press A to add a new task, and I'm going to press G to make something out of rock. You're going to see that you could also choose wood or bone or shell, and then a lot of other things you could do in the Craftsdwarf workshop. So I'm going to press G for rock, and here's a couple items that I have. I want to make some nest boxes, because this is going to allow my farm animals, my hens in particular, and the other birds as well, to lay eggs. So it doesn't look like there's a letter designation, so if I use my plus and minus, I'll go down to nest box, and I'll press enter. And I'll do another one. Actually, let's make 4 of them, because there was 4 hens, correct? Let's make 5. I think there's another female bird out there. And I'll press escape, and now hopefully, as long as they're not too busy drinking or doing something else, these dwarves that have these labors will make their way down here, and they'll get to work. And it doesn't look like anybody is. Nobody's moving. Where is everybody? There we go. Here comes a carpenter, and he's going into the workshop. At the same time, let's just build down another level. And let's also dig some of this level out. That way we have some more rock. And I'll go up. I also, while I'm thinking about it, let's dig out some farmland. And the closer you get to this water, your dwarves may have to cancel their digging if the material that you're digging in is too wet. And they'll just stop, and that's fine. Hopefully they won't have to, although this might be a little too close. And maybe I'll just take one layer away. And we'll let them dig that out. And I'm going to use this to farm. And you'll see you get plenty of alerts in this game. I'll pause it real quick. You have struck Colonite, whatever that was. And I can go down, and if I go down a couple levels, I'll see maybe it's this red substance right here. It wouldn't be a gem, but if I press K, I can look around, and that's exactly what it was. So it's this red stone. I believe the dots depict metal, as opposed to this would be rocks. So once we get a metalsmith's forge, it looks like we have some raw materials to make metal objects. If I come back up here, it looks like nobody is doing any work on the rock chairs and tables, or on anything else for that matter. And why? Oh, look, we have some people sleeping in the beer barrels, and one of them is our miner, so he's not doing anything. And everybody else looks like they're just eating and doing some stuff. So hopefully they'll bounce back quickly, and then things will get done. But I can't blame them, because I haven't built them any beds or anywhere to sleep. And I think that's going to be the next thing that I have to do. For right now, oh, it has started raining. You'll see some blue scattering around. While I'm thinking about it, let's press the letter Q, set building tasks. And I'm going to come over, and you're going to see this was the wagon that arrived with our dwarves. And I'm going to press the letter X to get rid of this wagon. And that, I believe, will get us 3 pieces of wood out of that. And it'll also get rid of this meeting area, because this is where all dwarves will want to hang out. And to counteract that, I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to press the letter I for zones. And just for right now, let's make a zone, and we're going to call it a meeting area. Now later on, once we make a dining room, that'll be our new meeting area. But for now, let's just get everybody in out of the rain. And you're going to see if I press I, there is a zone there. And the dogs always hang out in the meeting zones. And when the dwarves aren't falling asleep in our stocks, they will also want to hang out in there. And I can't do much here. I'm kind of just stuck waiting. And that'll sometimes happen in Dwarf Fortress. You'll have to wait for certain things to get done. Dwarves don't always want to work, much like humans. However, let me now show you something, since I see that some nest boxes are done. I'm going to show you how to place an object, because building an object and placing an object are 2 different steps of the same process. So we built nest boxes, but we don't want the chickens to come in here and lay eggs, and they won't anyway because it's in a stockpile. But what we're going to do is, before we used the set building tasks and preferences, and we went to the particular workshop and we built some nest boxes. So now I'm going to go up a level, and let's real quick press the letter I. Okay, this is where our pasture is. So what we're going to do is we're going to press the letter B for build, and we're going to look up and down on this list, and this list is long. Here it is, capital N for nest box. And I am going to place a nest box. My animals are here, so I think it's safe to assume that this is part of the zone. So I'll place a nest box right there, and it'll give me an option of nest boxes that are created, and they're all out of the same material. I have 3 of them. And let's press capital N again, and let's move the cursor over, and let's build all 3. Now there will be more, but for now, we'll build those 3 nest boxes. And if you see, I built them right in the middle of the zone. I'll make sure that the next ones I build are over here. You don't want to build them outside of the zone, otherwise the animals won't be able to use them. I'll resume this game, and you'll see that some dwarves, whoever's feeling up to it, will carry the built nest boxes out and will place them in the designated areas. Also, while I'm thinking about it, because the animals are going to lay eggs, we want to go down, and we only have 1 stockpile now, so we don't really have to worry about it. We're going to change the settings of this stockpile. And I'll tell you why in a second. We're going to come down here to food, and we're going to press right to go over to this middle menu. And we're going to go down to eggs. And without even worrying about this, we're just going to forbid all eggs from being stored in this stockpile. Because once the animal lays the egg, we don't want our dwarves to eat it. We want them to hatch because we want to get more birds, more hens, more turkeys. Now, once we have a good population of them, then sure, we can start eating eggs and we can even start eating the animals. But let's build up the population first. That way we can sustain ourselves and we don't have to worry. We don't have to rely on trade caravans coming in to purchase our food. So I just disabled eggs. And so now when the animal lays an egg, it'll stay in the nest box until it hatches, instead of a dwarf going and collecting it and bringing it to our stockpile. Also, real quick, before I've already run over the time that I wanted to, but as I'm thinking about eggs in the stockpile, we also don't want our dwarves to eat eggs. So I'm going to actually pause the game, and I'm going to show you another tab. And this tab we're going to be using a lot. It is Z, status. And this is going to tell us everything about our fortress. And I'll go into this more detail in some future episodes because this is going to become very important. This is where we can find out how much of certain items we have. Once we appoint a broker, he'll tell us how much items we've created, what kind of worth our fortress has. It also tells us how many of each type of dwarf we have. Really, right now, all that I'm worried about is this tab, kitchen. You'll see right now animals is highlighted, so I'll press right to go to kitchen, and I'll press enter. Now, this is everything edible that we have in our fort. What I want to do is I want eggs to be not edible. I don't want them to be cooked. So I'm going to use the arrow keys to come down to eggs, and I'm going to press the letter C to turn off cooking. Blue is on, red is no. So we're going to turn off, we're going to press C, and if I press C again, it'll turn it back on. Turn off the eggs. While we're here, let's also turn off the alcohol. We don't want our cooks wasting alcohol in the food. It's not too big of a deal right now, but we don't want them to ever do it, so let's worry about that now. Let's turn off cooking. And I also like to turn off the cooking of plump helmets. I like the plum helmets just to be made into rum, and there's plenty of other things we can eat. So I'm going to turn off cooking as well, but we'll leave on brewing. And right now you see that all the seeds by default are not cookable. That way the dwarves don't just sit there and eat seeds, and then we don't have anything left to plant. I will back out now, and it looks like our farm area is done. So in the next video, we will learn how to set up some farm plots, and it looks like I should be about ready to maybe set up an eating level and maybe a bedroom level. You don't have to do this, but I normally make individual bedrooms for all the dwarves. You don't have to do that. You can set up a large dormitory and worry about it later. I like to just get it going. And we also have 2 empty levels. I don't know what we're going to do with these yet. Maybe we'll set up some workshops for cooking and cleaning fish and preparing meals. I think that might be what we do, or maybe we'll just make some general stockpile areas for furniture and finished goods. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will leave this video paused, and you will not miss a thing yet. I'm sure in the future I'll have to cut some things out, but for now you're seeing exactly what I'm doing. You're not missing a beat. Thank you guys for watching. Please stay tuned for my next video.